Hello and welcome back. This is the final module, Module 6, Windows Store Submission.
The final episode of this great saga titled, you want to say it this time around?
Creating virtual and augmented reality applications on the Windows platform.
You know, we've had a television behind us for the whole time that has done nothing but say that. Anyway, moving on. So you've created this awesome VR app and we're going to submit it to the store. So as the external kind of non-Microsofty person, we're going to kind of switch roles where Pete here is really the expert. And I'm going to sit here and be taught how to use the best mobile app platform on the planet, I've been told.
So if you'd like to move us on to...
Yeah, so moving in, kind of a bit quick recap of where we've been.
Yeah, so the final one, it's been emotional.
It has. I won't feel the same when it's done. I've certainly grown as a person since we started. So yeah, kind of to recap, we've gone through all of this kind of stuff and we're ready to kind of submit the app to the store and hopefully make millions of dollars and be bought out by Facebook or Google or whoever it may be.
Exactly. And you've seen the app we're going to submit already because we built it in one of the earlier modules.
So we're going to just submit that nice bottles app that we came up with earlier.
Yeah, so let's give a little bit of background. I mean, if you've done some Windows development before, things may have changed. In fact, here's a screenshot of the Windows Store on my phone. I just did a search for VR.
Looks very nice.
And it's a few apps in there, isn't there? But there's not that many, so it's a good opportunity now to get in there and get your app published.
And so I think you can actually see there that Fireworks app was one of ours. If you want to download that and have that on your phone, you can.
Yeah, I've tried it. It's a pretty good app.
Cool. So Universal Windows Platform, what's this all about?
Okay, so with Windows 10, we've moved into this world now where we can build an app once, and we can publish it to multiple platforms across all of the different plethora of devices that you can get now. And along with that sort of engineering effort has come one store, one dev center. So it's very simple now for developers just to go along to the dev center and publish their one app and make it available on the different devices.
So it's this kind of idea of unifying really all of this. You would have had lots of similar dev centers with similar UIs and slightly different functions for maybe Windows Phone and Xbox and PC and all that things are now.
Exactly, so and all of the kind of good features from all of those different stores have come together and merged and taken all the best features and put them in the one place. So it's a really nice story. Yeah. And of course, if you've got this one package that you can make available to multiple different multiple different devices, then as new different types of devices come online, we can just make our app available to them. For example, when HoloLens becomes available and we've got a suitable app, we can just tick a box and say, right, I want my app to be available on HoloLens.
And it was noted that kind of the Windows 10 apps weren't natively out of the box on HoloLens when that's been released. I know that's kind of broken press, so it's kind of future-proofing against that kind of, we talk with our SDK about future-proofing against technological development, and you're talking about kind of be future-proofed against platform development and things like that.
Exactly.
So it's all lovely and unified.
Exactly. Yeah. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look. So we're going to switch over to Visual Studio, where we've got one of the demos that we made earlier, one of the earlier modules. And we're going to build packages and we're going to take those to the store, to the dev center, and we're going to publish it to the store.
Let's go for it.
Okay. Okay, so here in Visual Studio, I'm going to create a package to upload to the store. Okay. So if I go to the project tab and there's a little store option here, and I can choose that to create app packages. Ask me if I want to build a package up to upload to the store, which I do in this case. I could build a package and kind of for side loading. I'm already signed in, but ordinarily you're going to have to, authenticate against your Windows developer account at this point.
That's really easy to do, and it is kind of a nice, smooth process anyway. So
yeah, always works first time.
Works on the first time. Right.
Okay, so what's happening now is this dialog's querying the store and getting back the reserved names that I've got in the store for apps.
Yep. So at this point, this kind of tool is connected with the cloud services and the store itself. So you kind of
that's right.
It's a connected situation. It's not just on this computer anymore.
So I'm going to choose to reserve a new name. Let's say that's not a very snappy name, is it actually? So should we just call it MVA VR demo?
Yep.
And when I hit the button, it's just going to go off and reserve that name for me in the store. Give that a second just to update the app list, and then we can move on.
We need a button for elevator music, so kind of like while it's kind of chilling away, querying.
Yep, network's a bit slow.
Yeah.
There we go. So I'm going to hit next, and I'm going to choose to create an app bundle. So everything will be bundled up into one package that I can upload, and I'm going to choose all of the CPU architectures to target. So I'm going to hit create.
It's going to do some work.
It's got a spinning icon there. Let's see. Now what's going to happen is the .NET Native compiler is now going to build each CPU architecture that I've specified.
Yeah.
It's not going to upload those binaries to the store, but it's just verifying that they build at this point. It's going to upload to the store binaries with intermediate language coding, and it's just one blob at the end of it. So what we'll do now is we'll leave that building because it may take a while, and we'll switch over to the Dev Center and we'll set up the bits and pieces we need inside the Dev Center.
Okay.
So I'm just going to switch over to Edge, and it's dev.windows.com, and again I'm going to sign in with my Windows developer account. Let's navigate over to the dashboard, and the dashboard is a place where all of the apps I've previously submitted appear, and I can go and look at the download stats and so on. So here we see I have a node in here already. Yep. So the action of interacting with Visual Studio has created me a node in here. I haven't started the submission yet, but let's just go and click on it and see what the options are.
So it knows it's coming.
Yeah, it knows what I'm trying to do. So, and I can come in here and I can create in-app purchases and so on as well. And I can see stats about my app. Of course, there's nothing there. So I'm just going to start the submission. Once we do that, we're faced with this this kind of wizard. So it's going to walk me through the steps effectively. So the first one is pricing and availability. So let's go in and set a few options on here. So I can choose a base price. How much do you think our game's worth?
Let's give it away for free. Let's be community spirited.
Give it away for free.
Yeah. We're going for big market, that advertising revenue, even though we've got no ads.
So I could set a free trial on here, but since the app's free, then there's no point. Also got quite a lot of flexibility over the market, like the markets that I can choose. So let's have a look and see. So for each of the target markets, I can set a different price if I want to. Oh, that's cool. Or I can tick off that market if I don't, for legal reasons, maybe I can't sell in that region.
So we could make it cost loads of money in Australia, for example, or something.
Yeah, have you got something against Australia? You want to charge them for this app?
My aunt was from Australia, so...
Okay, so let's just leave that. It's just free everywhere.
Yeah.
Let's scroll down. There's loads of regions in there. And also you can say, if future markets come online, just make my app automatically available. I could set up a sale. So say over the Christmas period, I could make my app free if I was ordinarily charging for it, and you can specify a start and end date. And create as many sales as you want. Distribution and visibility, there's quite a few options over that. So you can run this idea of a beta program. So you can submit your app to the store and give it to a closed beta list of live IDs, which you kind of list in here. Or you can just hide the app in the store, so it's hidden from search, and give people links. And a really cool feature that I like is that you can now order promotional codes with your app, and you can distribute those to people you want to distribute to. And there's an option here for hiding the app and only making that visible to people who have promotional codes. So there's quite a lot of you can see there's quite a lot of flexibility in here. So this is interesting because we spoke about Universal Windows Platform. Yeah. Well, at the moment we've got the choice of desktop and mobile, but as more things come online, there'll be more checkboxes here. So HoloLens will be a checkbox, Surface Hub will be a checkbox, Xbox will be. And you can also say, just automatically have my app propagate to those platforms, or require permission. Yep. I can also make my apps available via the business store using organizational licensing, where I can, sell bulk licenses, for instance. It's quite useful. And I've got a load of control over when the app is actually published. So let's save those. I'll publish this as soon as it's ready. Yep. So hit save. And move on to the next step of the wizard, application properties. Let's have a look inside there. So What kind of app is it? It's kind of a game.
Yep.
Right. We don't find a VR option in here, but
we're working on it.
yeah, we're working on it. It should be there soon. What kind of subcategory? Action.
Card plus board.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Let's go for cardboard.
Yeah.
Why not? So you can kind of, this is more like a piece of device to the user, and it won't stop them installing your device if they don't have these pieces of hardware
or give them a
or this
warning
functionality. But yeah, they'll get a warning. So if we really do need touch, and they don't have touch, we can tick this off, and they'll get a warning and say this is better with touch.
Yep.
Right. I'll leave those blank, and then there's a few kind of declarations about what the app can and can't do. Has it been tested for accessibility and so on. So let's save that tab. We'll go with the defaults there. And we're making pretty good progress here. So we're kind of about halfway through. Age rating is obviously very important, particularly in the games sector. And this part of the store has also been kind of ramped up. So we're now, it will now guide us through a questionnaire. I'm not going to do it now, actually, because I'm trying to think of the quickest way to go through this.
I think we can just submit there should be a checkbox at the top for, I will just select the rating.
I will manually enter the rating. Yeah, I mean, the questionnaire is really good because it asks you a few questions and then sets up your age rating in all of the regions that you decided to go for.
Nice. Interestingly, the one point that I will make is actually VR shouldn't be used by people under 12 and supervised. So actually 12 plus is the minimum age rating for a VR app.
Let's make this one 12 plus, then follow that advice. And we can set up age ratings for each of those individual markets. I'm just going to press save. I don't want the game to be available in Taiwan at this point.
Damn, I was really hoping to go and buy it in Taiwan.
We can fix that up later.
Yeah,
that's fine. So
that's a good point. So nothing here is actually completely permanent. You can always update these and kind of change your stance on releasing devices and things like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of flexibility. So here you see, this is the dialog where you can upload your packages. And notice that you can upload Zaps, Apex Bundle, and so on. So the store has a kind of algorithm which works out what the end user should get down to their device. And that's all they'll see in the store. Cool. So at this point in time, I'm hoping that we've built a package.
It says ready.
Let's just navigate to where this solution is in File Explorer. It's NVA demo, app packages.
Master looks good.
Master. That hasn't finished building, is it? What's in master test? No.
What was in the error list? Try it again. Oh no, it's still building, that's why.
Yeah, I think it's still building. It does take quite a while for .NET Native to build. It's running the optimizing compilers and so on. And now we're back in Visual Studio. The app package creation is completed. And faced with this dialog, which has a link to my app package. And I've also got the option to run the Windows App Certification Kit, which I would recommend because it will find any issues before you submit to store. So let's just. I'm not actually going to run the test, but I think it's worth just looking at the dialog, see what kind of things it does. So there's a whole suite of tests in here, and they'll get run as part of your app certification anyway. So you might as well run them now. Head off any problems. So
it's good to run them yourself rather than waiting a day for it to come back and say, this hasn't passed certification, try again, and kind of potentially delay the launch of your amazing new VR game or whatever it is you're aiming for.
Absolutely, save you a bit of time. So I'm not going to run it now. I'm just going to cancel that out, and I'm going to navigate to the package that I've built. So it's in NVA demo, app packages.
So an interesting gotcha there. It's not in the bin folder like you'd usually find that you built. It's actually in its own sort of app packages folder.
It is.
In the solution folder itself.
That's right, and it's a package that's created especially for upload to the store. So
cool.
So if I just pin that to one side and I go back to the Dev Center, then I can drag this package out and drop it into the Dev Center there. And you can see it starts to upload, and that's going pretty quickly actually. What it will do, it will run some tests again and make sure that it's the app package is correct and you haven't dropped the wrong thing in there. It's analysing the package. Hopefully it succeeds. Once it does, we can save and move on to the next step of the wizard. There we go. So that's succeeded.
Yep.
So let's hit save. And I feel like, we're now in the home straight. So there's only a few more little bits and pieces to tie up and then we're ready.
We're moments away from fame, glory and acquisition.
There's a button there. It's still greyed out at the moment. It says submit to store. We're not quite there yet. So let's go to descriptions. And I'm just going to set up descriptions for the US for the time being. Great app.
So obviously in real life, write something contextual here because this is going to populate the store page. Yeah.
So I've got a feeling I might need some of this artwork. So we can fill in keywords, which will be searchable via the store. And there's a whole load of options here. I wonder if I can, get away without saving, just by saving and see if it will let me proceed.
It has.
It's saying it's incomplete, so I can't quite submit to the store.
Yep.
I suppose, maybe there's not much value in going through and putting those in and submitting. But
well, essentially, presumably the crux of this going on is that you put in some very relevant store information. We can't really show that because it's dependent on the app.
Exactly, and you can do it for each target language that your app is targeting. You can also come in here and set notes for certification.
Yep.
So if username password is required for your app, you can provide those for the testers.
Okay. So somebody's actually going to sit down and test this after it's been submitted.
Well, I think most of it is automated, but sometimes there might be a human involved. So particularly if they need to log in, for example. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the store.
Yeah. So then you get to kind of the end of your journey and that symbol goes blue again and you're all good.
Yep, so I press submit and then, a few hours later, I get back a notification saying your app is now available in the store.
Oh, lovely. So as that sort of brings the demo to the close, and now we're going to have a kind of a quick look over what we've learned in the last few chapters. So it's nice because we've gone on this journey from being real kind of VR novices. We've gone through a really good in-depth fundamentals of the industry lecture. We've looked at technologies. You've built your own stereo cameras and tracking systems from scratch. You're kind of starting to build this understanding of VR. We've looked at toolkits, and then rounded it off with kind of an understanding of how you go from taking that technical knowledge and actually building an experience that somebody's going to enjoy using, and then submitting that into the store so it can actually be distributed to the public and passed on. So hopefully you've really enjoyed this set of lectures and you've got something out of it. You can now kind of feel enthused and inspired to head off into the store and build an application and build the future.
Yeah, and we're really looking forward to seeing those apps in the store.
Yeah, I'll definitely be checking it out, and that's really good. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.